Now we've come to the more formal part of today's ceremony, and I invite my fellow board members to join me again. Dr. Wells, will you please step forward? And Mrs. Wells, will you please join him? We, as the Governing Board of Regents for New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology, entrust the leadership of this institution to Dr. Stephen G. Wells, a president who we are confident will guide it with wisdom and sound judgment, with courage and conviction, and with the abiding principles of excellence, honor, and good faith. An induction is an academic event that marks the official moment when the torch is symbolically passed to a new leader. Today, this ceremony is also a time for the university community to reflect on its past, to celebrate today's successes, and to plan for future achievements. Among the key components of a university president's induction are physical articles or symbols of the office of president that are conferred upon the individual. Here at New Mexico Tech, the presidential medallion represents presidential authority and reflects the confidence the institution has in its new president. With the power vested in me as president of the New Mexico Tech Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you, Dr. Stephen G. Wells, the Presidential Medallion of this institution. With it, our sincerest best wishes for your personal and professional success as the 17th President of the New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology.
Well, thank you all for an incredible and warm welcome. I cannot think how happy I could be without having my wife here with me to share in this generous introduction to the university. Thank you, Regents, very much for your warm welcome. And for me, sharing this stage with my mentor and PhD advisor, Larry Labman, is a very special moment. And I'm glad to see that his biting sense of humor has not changed one bit since the early 1970s. I want to thank our distinguished guests that are here, the university leadership, our faculty, our staff, our students, and I also want to take this time to a special moment of thanks to my wife. I want to give my loving gratitude for her support and, more importantly, for her patience. So, thank you, Beth. It is with great pride and humility that I accept the New Mexico Tech Presidential Medallion as a symbol of executive leadership and authority. And through this, I pledge to collaborate with all constituencies of New Mexico Tech to sustain and enhance its mission of providing the highest quality educational experience to our students, to grow the breadth and quality of our research endeavors, to realize more perfectly the ideals to which we are committed to as outlined in New Mexico Tech's mission statement and strategic plan, and to demonstrate extraordinary value of New Mexico Tech, which is often said to be the best kept secret in this state. Although some New Mexicans may not be fully aware of New Mexico Tech's exceptional achievements, our recent national rankings of College Factual clearly show that New Mexico Tech continues to rank at the top when it comes to academic value and the quality of education. Tech is ranked #1 nationwide among all universities in engineering and physics, #1 nationally in chemical engineering and mechanical engineering, #1 among all public universities in computer science and physical science, and #2 in both categories among all universities, public and private. Let's give a round of applause to this university. My goal as your new president is to support and promote New Mexico Tech's exceptional achievements. I pledge to be your miner-in-chief, uncovering the gem that we call New Mexico Tech, polishing this gem, and ensuring its recognition grows in New Mexico nationally and across the globe. I've been keenly aware of the reputation of this institution, its faculty and students, since I was a professor at the University of New Mexico, and College Factual's rankings validate what I already knew to be true. Sincere congratulations to our faculty and our leaders here for the work that they do in educating our students and the staff that supports them to bring us this recognition. Congratulations. Their outstanding efforts in increasing enrollment numbers, educating a highly valued workforce in New Mexico and around the world, and maintaining our exceptionally high national rankings are the backbone of this campus. Grounded in the character of the people of this land of enchantment is an ethos of resilience, always putting forth one's best, supporting one's neighbor, no matter how difficult the circumstance. It's a resilience that's reflected in the journey taken by the Spanish, who 400 years ago persisted through grave challenges along their journey on the Camino Real, and the much-needed assistance that was provided by the Pueblo Indians to ultimately create a place called Socorro. It's reflected in the Spanish descendants and the territorial settlers during the 1880s who worked together to grow a community and create an academic institution, New Mexico Tech, that was grounded in practical achievement associated with the mining boom. Today, we honor New Mexico Tech, a proud institution of higher education that never lets size deter its faculty, students, and staff from thriving, striving, and moving forward. One of my chief responsibilities as president is to spread the word of New Mexico Tech, the innovative research conducted by its faculty and staff and students, the stellar list of alumni who've impacted humanity, shaped societal activities, or defined innovative research around the globe. This list includes people such as alum Conrad Hilton, whose philanthropic endeavors help the poorest of the poor around the planet. Tech's physics professor Marvin Wilkning, who worked for Enrico Fermi at the University of Chicago and then on the Manhattan Project. Past president of New Mexico Tech, Sterling Colgate, who was a physicist working at Los Alamos Lab as well and one of America's premier analysts of thermonuclear weapons. Frank Edskorn, New Mexico Tech faculty member, who invented the nicotine patch, aiding people with nicotine addictions. And distinguished alum Ed Fries, vice president of game publishing of Microsoft and co-founder of Xbox. We've had decades of profoundly impactful endeavors and innovations that continue on today. Our institution already has launched several initiatives showcasing the school's technological capabilities, from the explosions and the testing we do related to that at Energetic Materials Research and Testing Center, to RiskSense, a cybersecurity spinoff that came from a faculty and member here and a former student that's headquartered in Albuquerque and has recently profiled in numerous local and national media outlets. While we celebrate our past achievements, we must recognize and nimbly respond to the challenges facing New Mexico Tech and all institutions of higher education here in our state and around the nation. The face of higher education has changed dramatically over the past 2 decades. In the words of New Mexico's Higher Education Secretary, Barbara Dameron, the fates of universities are to be shaped by political, economic, and social factors. It's no longer the pure beauty for looking and studying knowledge and science. Today's university leaders must be willing and able to adapt to social, academic, regulatory, and financial fluctuations while ensuring that colleges are accessible and affordable to students from every sector of society. For New Mexico Tech, this means maintaining the level of program quality of which this institute has based its long-standing reputation amid these sometimes stormy seas that face us, such as those now. I, along with my leaders here of the university systems, must adapt and be adept at fundraising and lobbying, legislative, congressional activities, and yet still hold fast to the academic pursuits that fueled our intellectual passion. Thanks to the hard work of my predecessors, President Lopez and Lapman, thank you, they steered this institution through rough seas of their own. And because of that, now I have arrived at a nationally ranked university based on strict academic standards and a philosophy encouraging student creativity and individuality. Our institution is strong, built over 127 years of dedication, love of labor, with a focus on student success, hands-on experiments, and critical thinking. As president, my role is to advance New Mexico Tech along an evolutionary trajectory that started in 1889 by guiding and nurturing it in accordance with the mission and the tenets of the strategic plan and with the support of the Institute's many constituents. In line with these ideals and as a part of advancing our institution, adapting to the new landscape of academia and diversifying our own economic base, I've established several preliminary goals that take us on an evolutionary path from our roots in gold dust to a future interlaced with stardust. Our vision for New Mexico Tech is to be a preeminent community of scholars that's dedicated to doing world-class education and innovative research in advancing science, engineering, technology, and mathematics, as well as driving education and innovation through transdisciplinary collaboration. I have to tell you, I am proudly and profoundly impressed with the seriousness and commitment of the faculty, staff, and students that have made a commitment to this vision and to the strategic plan. As president, I am committed to working collaboratively on the strategic priorities that have been so carefully assembled and vetted across campus. And what I would like to do is take a few minutes to illustrate some of the steps I've taken in the first 100 days as your university president. Strategic priority, streamlining communications, business processes, and the development of technology infrastructure. As part of my commitment to enhancing internal institutional communication, it is my goal by the end of the year to have gotten around to every single department, every single center and academic unit to better understand the core of our campus and to open the door to the president's office. I can't believe the point that I've made it really clear that our website, and I'll be careful, I won't use the words that are inappropriate here, is terrible. As promised, we have embarked on a completely invigorating process of revamping the website, which is one of the most important communication tools to our university. This is something I promised even before I got here. Thanks to the leaderships of our Vice President for Student and University Relationships and her communications team, we've hired a leading web design company that will help Tech create a new public face over the next several months. As part of updating the university's business practices, the leaders of each of my divisions are preparing the appropriate metrics that will effectively capture the operations of their administrative and academic units, which will serve as a baseline for measuring improvements. Such matrix will be used in my administration for data-driven decision-making, allowing us to make efficient, effective decisions in our operations and create a foundation for appropriate resource allocation. Strategic priority, build collaborations as a community of scholars. For the first time in 13 years, New Mexico Tech has 2 new PhD programs. These could only come about through the collaboration across the institution and state. Through the leadership and collaboration of the Vice President of Academic Affairs, the Dean of Graduate Studies, department chairs, and our faculty, Tech will produce PhD students in biotechnology and mechanical engineering and intelligent energetics for New Mexico's advanced STEM workforce. Through creative internal and external outreach programs, we've taken significant steps to foster a sense of connection, not only here within the campus, but within the community of Socorro. Our marketing efforts are fledgling, yet we are making significant progress in promoting our university through a multitude of outreach programs here in Socorro and around the state, thanks to the leadership of some of our faculty and administrators. Strategic priority, expanding funding opportunities to ensure planned quality of growth. We are a resilient campus. We have one of the lowest tuitions nationwide in engineering. And as with the national trend, our state continues to reduce the amount of state support for higher education. It is thus my primary goal to seek new revenue sources in support of our teaching and research mission. To achieve this goal, I've taken the following steps: to establish stronger partnerships with industry, both within New Mexico and nationwide, to work more closely with and enhance our advancement office, to create the infrastructure that actively supports and facilitates philanthropic giving to Tech, and third, to reach out to Tech's alumni, strengthening our communication and relationship with those lives that have been shaped by attending this university. As part of securing our financial future, we'll work to promote faculty and student entrepreneurial endeavors that inspire innovation, create intellectual property, and pursue avenues for commercialization. I'm working on new collaborative efforts with Tech supporting organizations such as the Research Foundation and Research Park Foundation in order to enhance this culture of entrepreneurialism that is intensifying across our campus. Increasing our research portfolio through stronger industry partnerships and support outside the traditional federal funding is critical, both to Tech's future and to opportunities for our students' postgraduate employment. It is important that my administration not only support our research at centers such as Tech, but work with our academic departments for new research funding opportunities. As part of this plan, our Vice President of Research and Economic Development is preparing a 5-year research plan for Tech in collaboration with academic and research centers across the campus. Strategic priority: cultivate transdisciplinary education and research. Over 17 years as president of New Mexico Tech, I helped to foster a culture of transdisciplinary endeavors to address the complexity of issues that challenge society and our global community. My resolve is strong in supporting and incentivizing Tech's goal to build transdisciplinary programs in education and research, such as those that we've built in biotechnology. It's also my goal to seek creative and efficient ways to infuse a sense of entrepreneurialism into academic programs for our undergraduates and graduate students. This isn't to make them all entrepreneurs, but to make them comfortable in understanding the world of innovation and risk-taking, and ultimately to provide a future workforce of scientists and engineers with skill sets that will make their degree of higher value. Strategic priority: supporting student success. This lies at the very core of our institutional mission and is embedded in all our goals. Collectively, my administration will be devoted to a process of continuous improvement and enhancement of student support services, allowing us to improve our retention and graduation rates, as well as the overall character of our campus environment. New Mexico Tech will provide a caring, safe, open, and inclusive environment for all of its students. There will be zero tolerance for any form of discrimination, repression, or harassment. Our institutional ethos will reflect the highest level of integrity and ethics to serve as a model for all of our students. In conclusion, ultimately, it's up to all of us to recognize the value of research and college education, to remember what ignited our own creative and intellectual passions, what guided our quest for knowledge to explore the mysteries of the universe and thereby expand the boundaries of human achievement. New Mexico has a flagship university with which my roots of higher education occur. However, New Mexico is very fortunate to have another and well-known kind of ship. It is a unique, nimble, and specialized vessel that will take students on an exciting voyage into the future possibilities, a voyage of inquiry, inspiration, and innovation. To all of you, we are techies, and we are New Mexico's starship. Thank you.